cross-border trade, e-commerce, digital marketing guy, bulletproof your e-commerce business in a post-COVID world. And so a lot on in the e-commerce industry, lived in it for a long time, also global from Asia.com, cross-border leader can be, talking about Amazon, talking about importing, build your global empire, and Mike's blog. So doing a bunch of blog writing, video blogs as well. And so, yeah, check them out. Lots of stuff, lots of knowledge to be shared.
Thanks, buddy.
And yeah. And so we got connected through some mutual friends. Surprised we hadn't met sooner. And so I had a kind of some questions for you. And what's really interesting is you said you got started in e-commerce in 2004. So what were you doing then? What got you into it? And yeah, what was that? What were you doing in 2004?
Sure. I just barely got out of college then. I was working in Wall Street. So don't have the normal track. I went to engineering school because my parents wanted me to be like a computer engineer, but I thought it'd be cool to be in business. So I still did engineering, but then I went to Wall Street after and worked on basically a Deutsche Bank. It's a German bank on the trading floor for junk bonds. So I was working in there, but I thought I had no idea what I was doing, to be honest, dude. I just nobody in my family or my network was an entrepreneur. It's almost embarrassing, but at that time I thought to start my own business, I thought I had to work, go to MBA school, and then start a business. I thought I had to get an MBA to start a business. Nobody.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why I had it in my mind, but I was like, I thought I had to learn how to do business at an MBA school. So I thought I was gonna have to work in a while, save up, do the GMATs. But then I started just actually my coworker Greg, he took his senior design project from college at Michigan and turned it into a business selling apps. And I was helping him out on that, and I was so amazed that he could, make money selling apps in 2003. It was 2003 because I started in 2004, but I was helping him on that. I was trying to join as a partner. He didn't want to have partners, so then I started to find other things while we're both still working in New York on Wall Street. But I was doing the online marketing. Nobody even knew what online marketing was then. And he was just like, oh, I started to learn how to do growth hacking in an app store. There was no iPhone apps. There was no Android at all. It was J2ME Java apps in Nokia phones. So I was saying about email marketing and Overture, and I saw a Yahoo ad about attend an online seminar of how to sell online, start your online e-commerce business, something like this, free lunch in a Holiday Inn in the 34th Street, Manhattan. And I was like, click the banner on the top of my Yahoo mail, and then I signed up. Well, actually, I invited my roommate, Andrew. I was like, Andrew, you want to go with me? There's free lunch. He's like, yeah, all right. I'll get the free lunch. Holiday Inn. So then we go, and then it was like a Saturday after, Saturday lunch afternoon, and it was a hard pitch. It was like it was not a soft pitch. It was like, this dude, I'm eating some kind of not steak, like chicken or something, and there's 100 people in a room, and there's a speaker that sells wheatgrass kits, and he says, I'm making money online. I'm paid here to help present to you how to do this. And then I was so skeptical. I'll be honest, man. I was like, this is some scam. They're just cheeks, trying to swindle me, get me a free lunch. And we listened to he actually gave some good content. He did it wasn't purely a sales pitch, but there were people in the back of the room trying to sell you. So you would go to the bathroom, or they would try to say, "Can you come sit at the table with me and talk about your situation?" They were trying to like close you. So
Hmm.
we were like, Andrew and I were like, we're too smart. We're not this dumb. We're not gonna get scammed some MLM bullshit.
Yeah, yeah, that's
So
what it
we
sounds like. That's what it smells like.
it, it feels like it. It was like a
Yeah.
$3,000 to $4,000 program that you could
Uh-huh.
pay. You could do up front, or you could do monthly installments. So it included like the CDs. It was like one of those plastic
Wow,
binders of
yeah.
CDs of how to do PPC,
Wow.
how to do PPC, how to create your store. You know, they gave you the software. It was actually they got sued for this because of their hard sales. But honestly, their product wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but we left. We're walking down the road, and then Andrew and I are talking. We're like, "Yeah, I bet you we could have made it work, even though it looks like kind of a scam, or it looks like maybe it's expensive, maybe $4,000. Maybe we could figure out a different way to do it. But this did have everything in one, and we could finance it." And we're talking ourselves into it as we're walking down the street of Manhattan. So we stopped on a street corner. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 blocks, and we're like, "You know what? It's true. Why don't we just do it?" We're not gonna go and find the shopping cart and the merchant account and this and that and try to. We'll just sign up. We'll just drop ship products. So we said 50-50, and we just shook hands.
Mhm.
And we walk back. They're cleaning up the tables. They're folding the chairs. They're like putting the papers
Mhm.
away. They're like, somebody came back. They're like, you escaped and you came back. So yeah, we signed up. And we didn't know what we were going to sell, right? It was like just drop ship. And they gave you 3 storefronts. So I guess you could say it's like Shopify kind of is, but you could use their back end system and then publish a storefront and then load it with products. And then I didn't know, man. I didn't know I didn't know we didn't know what we were doing. We got some merchant account. There's no Stripe then, right? It was one of those horrible merchant processors that was so it had like barely anything. But basically, I figured out Overture. I did Overture ads, and it truly was too easy. Like I was scared, man. I had no idea. I was the marketing, and Andrew was more the operating and the product. And I was just watching the CD on my TV, of their program, and they said just put lots of keywords, just load up products and put lots of keywords, and see what works, and then do more of what works and stop doing what doesn't work. Something basic like
Mhm.
that, right? Like he says, like download this spreadsheet CSV file of the keywords, put them in, copy them, put them in. And yeah, I mean, I got sales. I spent like $5, and the next day I got $85 in sales.
Mhm.
Not profit, but sales. But still, I mean, it had margin, and I was like, what the heck? So, and then I did eBay, but I did better on eBay than my own website with that those days. And
Mhm.
bar products, mostly my I started
Mm.
selling guy stuff. Like I started
Mhm.
selling guy stuff, and the first storefront,
Right.
I still have the domain, man. Pimp Guide, your guide to
Right.
pimping.
Yeah, you're telling me,
So it
yeah.
was like poker supplies, like romantic gifts, bar supplies. But the bar stuff did well, and then I couldn't get good margin on the drop shipping, so I ended up getting them from a wholesaler. That's in Florida, and then I kept moving up the
Mhm.
supply chain and making tons of mistakes. There's so many stories, man. It was just a
Mhm.
school of hard knocks for real.
Mhm.
I bought from China. I still worked Wall Street, but basically, yeah. I mean, that's somewhat of a quicker story. I could dig in more if you want.
Yeah, wow, the whole Wall Street grind. And
Yeah,
then
I was
okay,
the bit
so
dude, man. Yeah, I was the
wow.
young
And
guy doing the
uh-huh.
coffees and shit.
Yep, yep. Young and hungry. Like, yeah, that was, similar in my mindset after college. I'm just like, how do I just make money? How do I make the most money possible? And so
I,
that's the
I
mindset.
I had the FU fund, man. Like I renamed my E Trade savings account the FU fund. You could
Hmm.
nickname it. Uh, you know,
Yep. It's just,
eh,
yeah, finance,
uh,
banking. That's where the money's at. But
yeah,
yeah,
it
I've
was
met
good
a couple
money for
guys that had
sure.
real serious burnout.
Yeah, dude.
Um,
Coffee all morning, sodas, beers at night, and then try to do eBay at night. Crazy.
So you were side hustling eBay, and then were you eventually making enough where you could, where you quit
Yeah,
the, nice.
yeah. So by 2007, it was doing pretty well. I mean, there was at that time we kept bringing in a couple of our friends as partners, and we turned our fraternity house. I already graduated, but I got one of my younger fraternity brothers, George, involved, and he helped with some shipping and receiving at the frat house, and then and then
Nice.
uh, it started to become pallets getting delivered, and then the president of fraternity chapter, he's like, dude, you got to stop sending shit here, man. There's no space. You're
Mm,
filling up the halls. You're filling up the kitchen. Like, you got to stop. You
nice.
can't, don't stop. Don't keep sending shit here, man. But
Nice. And so you were sending the bar products
bars
there, and then
for a while,
you
and then it
some
went. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
and then some guy was like shipping them out to the customers every day.
Yeah, George was doing it. Yeah, or he was probably a junior in college at that time, and I was working on Wall Street. There was one story. I think people, maybe I'm a little bit, shyer guy, especially for Wall Street. Those guys are more like sharks. They're like, so they always want to
Yeah.
toughen me up. They always wanted me to be like
Hmm.
more vicious on the calls, more pushy.
Yeah.
So of course I'm hustling. I'm checking my shopping cart orders while I'm on Wall Street, and there was one that was like I think it was $5,000, and it was shipping address Cuba or maybe somewhere in the Caribbean, and billing address Miami. And I'm like, that looks strange. That
Hmm.
looks strange. So I called up George I usually don't call from my work, but I called from the work phone, at the Wall Street. I was like, George, did you see? He's like, yeah, yeah, I saw that. It was a big one, so I wanted to get it out same day. I shipped it out right away. I
Uh,
was,
yeah.
I was like, you fucker, man. Like, I started freaking out. Like, you just lost us $5,000. You shipped and the Wall Street guys heard me screaming, and then I was like, "Oh shit, sorry, sorry," and they're like, "That a
Yeah.
boy, Mike." They're like, "Good job,
Yeah.
good job. You fight for that 5 grand.
No.
You don't fucking give up. You fight for that $5,000." Like,
Fight for that. Oh
because
God.
they thought I was doing some kind of trade discrepancy, like because I had to call other broker dealers about trades, so they thought I was trying to do my job and just fight for the 5 grand difference for our bank instead of the other side because there's sometimes trade differences. So
Hmm.
that was just a funny one, because they're like, there he goes.
And so that was a $5,000 order. The transaction never went through, but the inventory was sent
So
off to Cuba and lost.
yeah, I mean, it was actually there's a good story ending. The customer was real, and he really was
Mm.
from Miami. That also was opening a restaurant in I think it was Cuba, but maybe somewhere in maybe it was somewhere else, maybe Puerto Rico. I don't know. I just remember it was high risk. He wanted the order. Like I emailed him. I
Mm.
said, "Hey, even my bank wouldn't give us the money because they said it was fraud."
Mm.
And so I had to get or something. I had to get the Spanish proof in Spanish, translated to English, and sent to my bank so that they would actually take the money because they thought it was
Mm.
fraud. But it was a real guy. He really wanted the products, and he really was opening a restaurant in that Caribbean island.
Interesting. Nice.
So it
Maybe some
wasn't
more
fake, but it
products.
just took a couple of weeks. Seriously, that was a nightmare though.
Nice. All right, let's get into some other questions. We covered the journey a little bit. Um, and yeah, like since getting into ecom, like how many brands have you launched? or companies, or kind of what was your main business model like from there?
So yeah, the first one was again the School of Hard Knocks, and we had a few different partners, and we had different. Like I said, Andrew, I shook my hands with him on the street corner, 50-50, and George was in college, and we brought him in, and we all had different. All three of us, I think, and there was a couple others, Brian. None of us ever. Nobody did business. Nobody did business, right? Nobody did startups. There was no entrepreneurs. There were no e-commerce sellers. So one wanted one wanted cash flow. One wanted to be a banker, and I guess you could assume me. I wanted to make it big. I didn't want to take the money out. So like one person wanted to just take his max dividend, right? He wanted to just sell and take the dividend so he could, party more or enjoy life more short term. And, nothing wrong with that. But basically, yeah, I mean, I was like, I don't want to do that. But so I came out to China, and I sourced for that business. And then I started sourcing for others in the product space, um, as well as started other brands because I got a problem, man. I just love to make stuff. I don't know. I just can't
Yeah.
stop building things. So
Yeah.
basically, we kept that one kind of as it was for a while, because they didn't want to like grow it. And then I started a couple other brands and sourcing services out in China.
Nice. Um, what was your favorite business model of all of them, and why?
Yeah, I I'm doing a newer model now where the I'm licensing some of the brands products, and I like it because one brand is Excalibur Brothers. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if people are watching. This is one of the products. It's like a polishing cloth. I think I showed maybe when we met up for dinner,
Uh-huh.
but
Yeah.
this is I'm not the seller. I'm the brand, but the seller is another person in Toronto, and he likes what I've built with a partner, and he buys inventory and lists it in Amazon and sells it and gives me a royalty. And we have a few people like
Mm.
that. So that I like that model a lot. Um, and I'm also doing some models I showed you where I'm working with the factory or somebody close with the supply chain to launch brands.
Mm-hmm.
Actually the bar products brand. We're making a product brand now, and
Mm-hmm.
so those are a couple of my favorite business models.
Nice. So creating brands, like you said, you like creating
Yeah.
products, creating brands. And so, what's been the secret to success in terms of the creating products slash brands in the physical product space?
Yeah. So for me, I don't know if this would be helpful for your listeners, but I've been doing this so long that I get to build up assets that I can use for multiple businesses and stay within a niche. Like I kind of stick within home and gift and garden, you know? And so like my first ecom business, New York Bar Store, that when I was talking about with Andrew, I still have the domain now. And it's more like an affiliate site for my brands. So I'm building out assets, content and distribution assets that I can use across multiple brands or products so that I don't need to do so much setup every single time. I
Right.
don't know
They
if
all
that
cross
makes
promote
sense.
each other, but they're different brands, different entities, but they can all cross promote.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Nice.
And I'm
Nice.
even an Amazon influencer myself. So if you look on my listings, you'll see me unboxing them, but not as the brand, but as an influencer. And I did it on a different. It's so complicated. It's I don't know. I mean, I could dig in. I don't know. I just
Yeah.
because that started because the brand says it's tacky if the brand does an unboxing. I don't know if we talked about this at our dinner meeting, but they said it looks weird if if the brand is unboxing their own product. So I was like, you know what? I could just unbox it as myself under a different brand. Not a product brand, but a unboxing brand. So I'm kind of like making an affiliate site where I'm the unboxer. I unbox my own products, and finally it's kind of showing up on the listings because they kind of put you in the box for a while and they only show it on your own influencer page, not on the product listings. But now they're starting to show on the
Mm-hmm.
product listings.
Okay.
If that makes
Nice. Maybe
sense.
you had to build up your Amazon influencer. Did you have to be
Yeah,
like an A plus influencer or whatever they call it, A list? Or you're not there yet?
yeah. I mean, I'm sure I got to study how I even did it. I did it over years, like I said. Like I I did it and started doing it in 2016. I mean, I use my buyer account. My buyer account is from 2010. Um, and I was always giving reviews. Not, I never gave my reviews to my own products because I know that's dangerous. But I gave
Yeah.
reviews to friends' products, or I gave reviews to books I like to read. I just wanted to have like an active buyer account as an asset. And that was even before the influencer program came out. And then it started coming out right in
Hmm.
2017. So I signed up, but then I didn't really think about doing it from. I was actually scared to do it for my own products because I thought I was going to get like violations because I'm a buyer and a seller.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not breaking anything, but friends have told me, and maybe you could tell me. But all I know is I built it up over time. I don't from zero, starting from zero. I'm not sure. I just was kind of
Mm-hmm.
maybe lucky to say
Yeah.
but that's
Interesting.
kind of what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to discourage new people, but the point is, you just start and just build. I guess I'm a workaholic, but you start to get these opportunities, right? I didn't know that the influencer program was going to let me make my own product unboxing because my partner in my brand says it's tacky to have the brand as an unboxing, and then I can use my influence. You know what I'm saying? So I have built up these assets that I
Mm-hmm.
can use across my various brands and businesses within a
Mm-hmm.
niche.
Nice. What was the most profitable business model that you've done?
Hmm. Usually, sometimes profitable does not mean scalable. Scalable profitable, meaning like you
True.
can make a lot, but you can make high margins or
Right, but not scalable. Yeah.
but
True. 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 So I guess another way to
I
frame what has made you the
guess
most profit.
like I think when I work with these factory direct, they give me the factory price and I partner with the factory, and then I'm going like factory to the distribution to Amazon directly with
Mm. So bringing the
it,
factory's products basically D2C, but does that mean it's under your private label brand or their
like, yeah, I mean,
private label brand?
I'm currently a 30% shareholder of it, and their factory is 70%, and they're also financing the inventory.
Got it. So they basically brought you on as their D2C marketer for
Yeah,
30%, but it's not a brand that you created, it's some Chinese brand.
we did it. We did it together, and so we did it together. So like this is one right here. This is the one of them. It's Sato. So it's the
Oh yeah,
bar.
you showed me that.
Yeah. So there's pours, and there's a whole shitload of these like coasters. So these are
Okay.
these are
And so you did create your own brand there.
yeah, we
But
created it together. Yeah.
it's kind of like private label except you can sell it at a lower price um
Yeah, I
because
mean,
you could source it at a
I'm
better
getting it.
price and you just get
Yeah.
30% of the sale price.
So I'm an equity holder. I'm a shareholder in the joint venture. So we set up a company together where we put the brand, the trademark ownership, and the cash in the bank account is shared. And then of course we dividend out money or salary out money. We have different structure, but it's basically set up a company together, and then basically factory direct pricing, but we're buying from the factory. I get, there's cost to
Right.
the product.
So yeah, so instead of just charging a markup and selling it wholesale kind of to private labelers, they're not charging any markup and just going straight to Amazon, and then you're probably able to compete better with a better price on Amazon, and then they're just paying you 30% of the sale price. Okay, interesting. And I would guess, that's harder to set up because you probably got to be in China and be wheeling and dealing to get
Yeah.
those kind of setups.
Yeah. Well, this is a Thai factory, this one. And,
Oh,
but in China, it could happen too. But in China, it's really unfortunate. But I didn't get these kind of opportunities in China because I don't know. I think over my 10 plus years in China, they would never offer me something like this. They usually would just want me to open a seller account and give me like off the top on sales, like 2 to 3 to 4%. Um, more for my
mm,
ID. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about. They
mm-mm.
wouldn't. It's sometimes hard for Chinese sellers to get U.S. Seller accounts.
Oh,
So two or
just
three or
hey,
four
you can
times.
use your account, and they'll give you a few
Yeah, they want to
percent
just
just to
use my
manage the
account.
store probably and use your account.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, in China, I don't think I would. I think they mostly keep it, and from what I've seen within Chinese to Chinese people,
Yeah,
even me, I've been there 10 years. I didn't get those kind of opportunities.
got it. And so if you're partnered with this Thai company, how does it work with like ad spend and expenses, or is it like you get 30% of profit
Yeah, I mean,
or
um, so I'm a shareholder.
shareholder? So
I'm technically my company. I don't do things directly. So my company's a shareholder, and
yeah.
their company is a shareholder. And then we do, of course, we can change the rules, but we do a dividend twice a year. And
Mm,
of course, we pay for expenses. It's got to his company or to my company that we agree upon. Like, yeah, like my team's costs, of course, is expensed. Um, of course, he's getting his product paid back as an invoice to his company. But it's like a joint venture company. And then as we grow, there could be more ways we could do it. But just like any kind of venture, right? You could give yourself a salary, you can give yourself a dividend, you could retain the earnings and just keep reinvesting back into like growing the business.
mm-hmm. Nice. Um, okay, cool. Let's get to the next question. What is the most exciting thing in e-commerce today for you?
I want to do more of it. Crypto, still believe there's a huge opportunity to bridge crypto and ecom. I know, I don't know if we talked about, I'm not sure if you've done any crypto, Riley, or not, but, I know it's got a bad rap, especially right now we're in a bear market in crypto and there's a lot of scams, and this FTX guy just he did
Fucked
such a
everything up for
disservice
everyone.
to the, yeah,
Yeah.
he messed it up because it doesn't need to be I mean, anything can be a scam, right? Just doesn't mean all of crypto is a scam, but
Yeah.
I still believe this NFT, Web3, crypto, ecom is going to come together. I think there's going to might already exist today, some kind of an Amazon for I mean, of course, there's OpenSea for NFTs, which is like the top NFT marketplace. But I just think there's gonna be some kind of a merger. There's gonna be some kind of an Amazon, or Amazon itself is gonna do some kind of NFTs with the product. Like I'm really thinking of it. I can't really say it clear enough, but it just makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Like to merge this NFT because with the brand, with the e-commerce, right? Because you
Yeah.
can join the brand through an NFT.
I was thinking, like Amazon has such a dominating stranglehold on the market, but like if anything to come out as a competitor, like what if people built like a decentralized Amazon, a decentralized e-commerce platform. Basically Amazon without the huge fees, like small
Exactly.
fees. So more for
Exactly.
the people, more for the sellers, and they're not taking
I know.
30% of the cut,
Well,
or
that's
15 to
you know,
30%.
you make me think of LooksRare for OpenSea versus OpenSea because that's what LooksRare did. LooksRare
Hmm.
has their own token, and then they just said we're not going to have any fees, or the fees go back to the people. So the fees we
Yeah.
collect goes back to the community. I would agree. I guess the big challenge is the sellers like us. We're the bottom, man. They don't give a shit about us. It's the buyer. So you got to get the buyers to go. If you can use some other way to get buyers to buy somewhere else, the sellers will go,
Yeah,
right?
you need the to be there. And it's also like obviously you need, capital to create an awesome platform. Amazon is an awesome front end platform with all its bells and whistles and stuff. But I'm sure you could create a much simpler version for doesn't need to be hugely complicated, and just e-commerce sellers can list their stuff on there. And I mean, it's kind of like what Shopify is, but like, and I think Shopify is coming out with Shopify Marketplace. I think they already have it in
I
Canada.
heard about
Basically, a,
that.
a, com- a
Yeah,
competitor to Amazon, just without as high Amazon fees. But I was thinking, might as well. What if it's decentralized and
true.
um, you know, um, kind of just like a community market, decentralized, controlled by the people without huge high fees. And yeah, that was just an idea. I'm sure someone's working on that.
It is a good one. That makes sense. I mean, I just I just feel like maybe what I've noticed is I think it's still too early for crypto, maybe because you got to get the general consumer has to
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah, and obviously on that you would be able to, yeah, once people use it more for daily transactions, then you could see more people shopping on some sort of decentralized platform. And who knows, maybe Amazon will accept coins in the future, but maybe their own Amazon coin, like, but you know the but the other thing, the other half of Amazon is its logistics empire. And so no matter where you buy it, no matter what website you buy it, you got to have the physical trucks and boxes and warehousing and humans slash robots picking and packing them. And so that's their other empire that's behind the scenes that is almost just as important as the website.
Exactly.
And so, yeah. So you can't just hire some coders to set that up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's it is something they did spend a lot on that. I remember their investors were not happy sometimes because they invested heavily into this for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It makes sense. I mean, they're trying to become the next UPS, and who knows, they'll probably buy them. Uh, you know, um, so being the biggest logistics company in the world, if they aren't already are.
Agreed.
So yeah, interesting times. All right, well, cool. Yeah, about an hour here, and let's see. One last question I have on my list. Perfect. Things to avoid when getting into Amazon slash ecom. What things, looking back, would you avoid, or tips you would give to other guys getting in?
I mean, it's an easy one for me. I did too many products. I
Hmm.
even drop shipping, but some were wholesale, some were drop ship. But I went too wide in my product line. Yeah, and that shit killed me. It was like a whack a mole, man. You'd run out of stock on one, you'd fill in another, you run out of stock on this one. It's that 80-20 rule, finding the what works and doubling down on what works. And maybe one, I think at one point I had like 400 SKUs, and at one at one point, you don't want to, one's kind of doing okay sales, and you don't want to, spend time building it, getting it going, so sourcing it. But I think it's always focusing on what works, doubling down on what works, and cutting what
Mhm.
doesn't, and don't get too attached.
Yep. Nice. Great advice. Awesome. Cool. Well, yeah, nice chat. Hope some people got some good tips and insights out of this. Yeah, if you watched this far, like the video for sure. Yeah, check out Mike online. Everything he's doing, link in description. Um, Lots of things in e-commerce. And so if you guys have questions, post them in the comments. And yeah, Mike, I will see you
Thanks, man.
around at probably some point around Thailand.
Yeah, I look forward to it, Riley. Thanks for having me, man. It was fun.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.